Good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon and welcome to the June 10th, 2025 regular meeting of the Community Development Commission of Chicago. I am Gwendolyn Hatton Butler, Chairwoman of the CDC. Today's meeting is being held at City Hall Council Chambers and is also being streamed by the Department of Planning and Development. The agenda for today's meeting was posted on June 5th, 2025, both on the CDC website and physically at City Hall. I will now call to order the June 10th, 2025 meeting of the Community Development Commission with a call of the roll. Commissioners, when your name is called, please respond by saying present. Please note, this vote will be used to establish the roll call vote for subsequent items. Vice Chair Latasha Thomas.
Present.
Secretary Grace Chan McKibben. DPD Commissioner Sierra Boatwright. Commissioner Buford. Commissioner Curtis. Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Gomez. Commissioner Griggs. Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner Millsap. Commissioner Zayas. Thank you, Commissioners. We have a quorum. At this time, we will begin the verbal public comment period of the meeting. Members of the public were able to submit written statements to the Commission via email. There were no written statements from the public received by the Department of Planning and Development prior to the established deadline of 24 hours prior to the scheduled start of the meeting. At this time, we will begin the verbal public comment period of today's meeting. Speakers were able to sign up to speak prior to the meeting and will be called in the order they arrived. During this public comment period, each speaker is limited to 3 minutes to allow time for as many speakers as possible. We ask that each speaker keep their comments relevant to items on today's agenda. Bailey, do we have any speakers that have signed up? Okay, we don't have any speakers that have signed up to speak today. So the public comment period of today's meeting is now officially over. The first item on our agenda requests approval of the minutes from our previous meeting held May 13, 2025. The commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes, and if there are no corrections, I move passage of this item by the same roll call vote previously used to establish quorum. Are there any corrections or objections? Please note that the chair, Gwendolyn Hatton Butler, was not present at the meeting and will abstain from the vote. Hearing no further changes, the motion is approved. Commissioners, for the first and only item of new business on today's agenda, the Department of Planning and Development is requesting the Commission to grant authority to the Department of Planning and Development to negotiate a redevelopment agreement with the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation for the redevelopment of the property located at 4450 North Clark Street in the Clark Montrose redevelopment area, and for the Commission to recommend to the City Council the designation of the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation as developer. Beth McGuire will provide a brief description of this request on behalf of the Department of Planning and Development. Thank you, Beth.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman Butler and members of the Commission. For the record, my name is Beth McGuire, Project Manager with the Department of Planning and Development. With me today, I have representatives from the development team. I have Ms. Jackie Taylor, President of the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation, Chris Nesbitt, Vice President of Planning, Ann Maroney, the TIF consultant from Johnson Research, Liz Butler, the attorney from Taft Law, and Jimmy Akintonde from Ujama, the general contractor. They are here to answer any questions you may have. The resolution before you requests a recommendation to the City Council for the designation of the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation as the developer for the Black Ensemble Studio Theater project. and the authority for the Department of Planning and Development to negotiate a redevelopment agreement with the developer. The proposed project is located at 4450 North Clark in the Uptown Community Area, 47th Ward, in the Clark-Montrose TIF District. The project is located on North Clark Street between Sunnyside and Montrose Avenues. The block contains a variety of small businesses and one bar and grill and a shuttered restaurant. The building across the street was recently purchased by Black Ensemble Theater, or BET, as we will refer to them throughout the presentation, as part of their future planned redevelopment of the block. The area is well served by public transportation with several bus lines and the Wilson Avenue Red Line stop nearby. This slide shows an exterior view of the existing BET building. BET originally opened in 1976 in a nearby space on North Beacon Avenue, but in 2011 opened up this larger, improved theater. Unfortunately, a portion of the space remained unfinished due to funding constraints. That unimproved space is the subject of today's CDC action. BET has been a community anchor for almost 50 years, with over 150 performances annually, drawing visitors to the Uptown community. There are 18 full-time employees and 100 positions generated by all of the productions. They also partner with Chicago Public Schools and community organizations to provide youth programming. This slide shows the unimproved space, which is currently not usable. The construction work to be performed will turn this 5,000 square foot space into a smaller black box studio theater seating 150 people and will also be used as rehearsal space. This project entails build-out of approximately 5,000 square feet of space above their parking garage. The second floor space will be divided into the studio theater of 3,100 square feet and a rehearsal room of 1,800 square feet. Significant work needs to occur to make this space usable. This shows the space upon completion. The first picture is the space that will be developed into a rehearsal room, and the second picture shows a play being performed in the new studio theater. Here we have the project budget. The city intends to provide the developer with TIF assistance in an amount not to exceed $2,434,955, or 49% of the total project cost. The remainder of the project funding is coming from a state grant, a federal grant, and an Illinois Arts Council grant. All grants have been secured. The majority of project funds will be spent on hard construction costs. The development team is comprised of the following members: the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation, Morris Architect Planners, who designed the BET building back in 2011. Ujamaa will serve as the general contractor, though they were not part of the 2011 project. And Liz Butler of Taft Law Firm has been serving as their legal counsel. The city intends to provide the developer with TIF assistance in an amount not to exceed $2,434,955, or 49% of their total project cost. The city funds will be provided from area-wide increment in the Clark-Montrose TIF and will be provided in 4 payments during the construction period. The payments will be made at 30, 60, 90, and 100% of completion. The project will have ongoing operations and occupancy covenants that ensure the developer will continuously operate the project in the manner agreed upon with the city. The typical construction compliance requirements for prevailing wage, MWBE, and city residency will be applied as well. This expansion will strengthen the Uptown Theater District and allow BET to continue to serve as a community anchor. The theater patrons will frequent area restaurants and other businesses. The project is additive to the goals and objectives of the Clark-Montrose TIF District plan and is also complementary to the nearby Uptown Square District, which is home to other theaters such as the Uptown Theater and Riviera Theater. The studio theater space will also allow for an expansion of the youth programming that BET conducts in partnership with Chicago Public Schools and community organizations. There is programming during the school year in theater production, as well as their summer programming where young people are hired as interns and trainees. The studio theater will also increase the number of productions staged annually from 150 to more than 180, as there will be more theater space and additional rehearsal facilities. There will be an increase in the seasonal employees due to the greater number of performances. DPD has thoroughly reviewed the proposed project and qualifications of the development team, the financial structure of the project, and the project's conformance with the redevelopment area plan. And DPD recommends that the CDC recommend to the City Council the designation of the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation as developer for the Black Ensemble Studio Theater project. DPD also requests that the commission provide DPD with the authority to negotiate, execute, and deliver on the city's behalf a redevelopment agreement with the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation for the project. Alderman Martin was briefed on the project and the use of TIF funds and has provided a letter of support for the project. Thank you for your consideration. The development team and I are here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Beth. Is Alderman Martin or anyone from their office here?
They were not able to attend.
Okay, thank you. I understand from the department that Jackie Taylor from the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation would like to make a brief statement. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Just want to tell you that even though Black Ensemble Theater was started in 1976, if you count the years, I just want you to know that I was 13. And I'm sticking to that forever. Black Ensemble's mission is to eradicate racism. And we do it in all kinds of shapes and forms. We have impacted since our beginning in 1976 more than 200,000 young people. We have changed their lives and we have put them on the road of success. We believe that with this theater, additionally, we'll be able to impact at least 40% of new students. We'll be able to put on productions that help to bring people together, people of all kinds. And it's a vehicle for Black Ensemble Theater to live forever. Since I can't, I got to put in place what can. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Beth McGuire regarding this request by the Department of Planning and Development? If there are no further questions or comments regarding the matter before us, I will call this item to a vote. The resolution before us, the Department of Planning and Development is seeking the Commission to grant authority to the Department of Planning and Development to negotiate a redevelopment agreement with the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation for the redevelopment of the property located at 4450 North Clark Street in the Clark Montrose redevelopment project area, and for the Commission to recommend to the City Council the designation of the Black Ensemble Theater Corporation as developer. If there are no objections, I move passage of this item by the same roll call vote previously used to establish quorum. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Millsap is abstaining on this item. Are there any objections or further abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Commissioners, that was our first and last item on today's agenda. If there are no further questions or comments, I move to adjourn the June 10th, 2025 meeting of the Community Development Commission by the same roll call vote previously used to establish quorum. Hearing no objections, we are adjourned.